I'm Nico, I'm the founder of Dapta. Dapta is a software platform, and we are building the fastest way for SMBs to use and get value from AI in their sales and operations processes without having to write code and for non-technical users. A bit about our recent growth. We're accelerating in the SMB market. I'm going to talk about my customers in a second, and we're going to see a case study, but think of our users as boring businesses. An HVAC company that has to do service calls, a DirecTV reseller that has to service restaurants and sell them on the DirecTV service. A company that does roofing, a general contractor. These companies are the backbone of the American and Latin American economy. They're not technical and they need AI. And AI is penetrating every aspect of every business, just as spreadsheets were penetrating every aspect of every business 40 years ago. We've grown 12x in the past 12 months until December of 24. And what's really interesting about our strategy is that we have a product-led growth motion. We don't have a sales organization. Everything is product-led growth. People go in, they try the product, and they convert. We currently have 386 paid accounts and 25,000 free organizations using our product. And what's best, we have enterprise-level net dollar retention cohorts over 100% in our last 2 quarters. A bit about myself. I'm a self-taught programmer. I started writing code when I was 13 years old. Started working as a freelancer for companies in the US from Colombia, where I'm originally from. I got a lot of experience, started my first company, a software dev factory called Imagine Apps when I was 17. I grew that business. It's still going, has about 70 full-time developers working for companies in the US and Canada with Latin American talent. And that gave me a lot of experience and insights into how SMBs work and what they need to thrive in the marketplace and how to optimize their margins, grow their top line, and become very successful businesses. I moved to the US to launch Dapta, so I moved to Miami about 2 years ago, and I recently relocated to Phoenix, where I'm really happy enjoying the sun of the desert. And just as a side note, I'm also a tech influencer. So I have over 100,000 followers on my personal accounts, around 50,000 followers on our company accounts. And we do over 1 million organic impressions every month. And this is one of our hacks and what enables us to grow at a really low CAC. The problem we're trying to solve is very simple. Every company is going to be using AI very soon. And a lot of companies that you guys know are already using AI. But how can we get AI to the masses? So think about this HVAC company, think about this DirecTV reseller. They're not technical. They're not developers. They don't know what 11 Labs is. They don't know what Anthropic is. They know what DeepSeek is because it's been all over the news, but that's as much as, that's all they know, right? And then they have their internal software systems. They have CRMs, they have QuickBooks, they have spreadsheets, whatever. So what we try to do is simplify this whole process and bundle the solution they need to use AI in their business processes. Because ChatGPT, DeepSeek, the LLMs are consumer products, right? You use them on an individual level. How can we get the power of the LLM to automate a whole process and the business workflow? That's what we're trying to solve. There's millions of SMBs, and they're all going to be using AI, just like they use a spreadsheet. We've seen companies conquer the SMB market. This is not an easy market to work with, but we have a couple hacks that have helped us thrive in this space. These companies are super busy. They're focused on their basically on their margins. They want to see value fast, and they also want to have good support and a very easy to use product. So those are our pillars as we try to build the best solutions for them. So how does Dapta work? We started as an automation platform where companies could go in and build any automation they could imagine. This was not a very attractive value proposition to attract new customers, so we started bundling use cases. Our most common use cases are around voice agents, text agents, and automations. So I'm gonna explain with a case study in a second, but we can deploy an AI voice agent to take calls, for example, call answering service that can take the service calls for the HVAC company, a voice agent that can take support calls for the DirecTV reseller. And each of these companies can customize their agents to fit their internal processes and their value propositions as they can create a spreadsheet, basically. Zero coding required, and we offer best-in-class support for these companies. If they want to get in a call with one of our support staff, they can do it. Just request the call on our support chat. Some of our use cases, we specialize in sales and operations processes. So all the way from marketing, from lead qualification, you can use AI voice agents to call the leads you're generating. So let's imagine another type of company, a law firm. We work with this Lemon law firm in California, and they pay millions of dollars in billboards, right? And people call their phone numbers. They're the thing that's blocking them from growing more is that they don't have enough people to take the calls, right? If they advertise on TV and they have a spike in calls and they get 5,000 calls within a couple hours, they don't have enough people to take those calls. And they're very simple calls. Hey, what do you need? Do you think you have a lemon? Let's see if you have a solid case, and then we can move forward to an actual lawyer. So lead qualification is really important. Automated follow-ups for sales, and then customer support and customer activation can be operations processes that we can automate very easily. We're an open platform, so you can just log in, create an account, and you can create any workflow you want. So the use cases that we market, we don't come up with those use cases. We just see what our users are building in the platform. And once we start seeing something pick up, we create a template and then we market the template. That's what we did with the call answering, support calls, and so on and so forth, the examples I've just given. What's unique about our go-to-market strategy is that we're not selling AI. People buy it from us. So they go to our social media, which is our largest acquisition channel, over 150,000 followers. They learn about the product. They see the use case. They understand how they can use that in their business. They try it themselves, and then they pay. They just add their credit card, right? Just like ChatGPT, but for an entire business process within their organization. One of our most successful customers, a company called DLM Media in Phoenix. This is a DirecTV reseller I've told you, largest one in the country. They service commercial DirecTV. So they go to casinos, restaurants, and they sell DirecTV. They started doing a very simple thing, an automation to create blogs for their website, something that's really easy. HubSpot started like this, just selling blogs. Then they went on to create an outbound sales agent that does cold calls. And now they've automated their support, growing their MRR 2 times since in the past 12 months. We're still very early and we know this, but we have enterprise grade net dollar retention. So we're very good at identifying which are the customers that are going to be most successful using our platform and growing them. As you can see in our cohorts, all of our cohorts starting in Q3 are above 100% net dollar retention. We're currently doing 550,000 ARR. That's January 31st. And to get to 100 million ARR and become not even a unicorn, we want to become a Fortune 500 company. Someone asked the unicorn question, right? This is a moonshot. We don't want to be a unicorn. Everyone's going to be using AI. So pretty excited. There's a huge opportunity. We want to build the best company in the space. And I think we can do it. Not a lot of people are serving the SMB market. We think we have a hack to do this. And we also have the right team. I'm a second-time founder. My co-founder, Felipe, is a third-time founder. He sold over $10 million in software. And we have very experienced advisors. We've raised 1.4 million in venture capital. And we're ready to conquer the world, basically. From our office in Cactus Road in Phoenix, we're ready to change how companies are using AI in their business processes. So for that, we're raising a seed round of 3 million. And our milestone would be to get to a Series A where we do 4 million ARR. That's a 10x growth from our December 2024. And then just take on the world and give AI to all SMBs in the Americas. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you very much. Right on time. Well done. Congratulations. So we have 10 minutes for questions. There will be 2 mics, one on this side of the room and another mic on that side of the room. And who wants to ask the first question?
Hey, Nico, thank you so much for that presentation. Can you speak a little bit about the customizability of the platform and kind of ease of use, and which models specifically do you steer people towards?
Sure. So you can use any model within the Dapta platform, like any LLM. One of our core values is transparency and customization. So you can use any external LLM you want. We've found most success with OpenAI's models. The most used one is GPT-4o, but we also have a lot of users using Anthropic's models. And how easy is it to use? You can just go to dapta.ai and you can create an agent in 5 minutes. And we encourage our users to create their first AI agent very fast. And then once they want to integrate that within their business process, they can just use one of our core tools, which is called the Flow Studio, and they can connect to their CRM, their spreadsheets, upload files, create campaigns, and so on and so forth.
I could have enunciated a little bit more, but are you also then specializing the underlying model based on the use case as well?
Well, that's a great question. We don't do fine tuning, but we do have enough data to start fine tuning eventually to specific use cases. For example, we have a lot of people that are doing service calls or scheduling service calls for professional services businesses, right? Lawyers, accountants, a lot of people that just take calls and have to do appointments and scheduling. We have thousands and thousands of calls being made for that specific use case every week. And the goal is eventually, with all that data, to fine tune a model that's going to be the best at that specific use case. We don't do it right now. We don't enable users to fine tune. I think that's for us to provide a better product for our customers. But in the long run, we are trying to create a moat around the use cases by fine tuning those models with the data that we have.
Nico, question here regarding the LATAM aspect, which is this currency, risk right now with the US being so strong as a currency. How are you guys looking at that element? What percentage do you expect in the first 2 or 3 years coming from US versus LATAM, and how are you guys looking at that currency risk?
Great question. So currently 40% of our revenue is US, and that's the largest segment. 60% is the rest of the world. Another 40% is Latin America. We have a lot of usage from Mexico, Chile, and Colombia. Those are 2, 3, and 4th markets. We don't do anything in Europe, mostly because of regulation and data protection. We have customers in Australia, Asia. So right now, 40% US, 60% global. We do want to bring that up, maybe 60% US, 40% rest of the world. But this, keep in mind that because our acquisition is organic, we don't do any targeted ads effort, So our TikTok videos are seen all over the world. So we'll take any customer that can try the platform and can pay. But we are targeting our go-to-market efforts in the US specifically. That's why it's the largest segment. Yeah, everything's low. See, yeah. Sorry? Currently, it's around $1,500 yearly. Yeah, 386
Nico here.
accounts
please.
for that.
Hi, how are you? So my questions are more on the financial side. So your valuation is 20 million, but your revenue 2024 has been 1 million, right? Like 100 to 100 to 400 by quarter. So that's 20 times revenue. It will be, and you're raising 3 million.
Yeah.
Which is basically, we're trying to raise 3 million, which is basically 3 years of revenue, proven revenue from 2024. So I know you're growing all that, but help me reconcile the financial valuation, but not looking at the unicorns that you showed on the slide. So what makes you believe that you can make it to that valuation? Why is it worth the valuation?
Yeah, so this quarter we're gonna double roughly, like 1.75x growth. Next quarter we're probably gonna triple from December 2024. So it's a matter of timing. We can wait. We have cash in the bank. We're not actively doing a fundraise. If the right investor comes along and we can keep moving forward and accelerate our growth, then we'll consider it. But basically we can wait a few months.
And your cash burn rate is what per quarter, more or less?
$30,000 per month
30.
net. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Nico, I really like your profile because you have a mix like, bootstrapper with your software factory company, And also you're building a product on top of an audience. And that means you have a low CAC because of that. So congratulations for that. My question is, when do you see the inflection point for Dapta to push the accelerator and start growing through other acquisition channels? As your main customers, you have as an inbound strategy that is great, and among your social networks and audience. So when do you plan to push the accelerator? When do you see that inflection point as you show us great dollar retention and cohort performance?
Right now. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to make some riskier bets right now in terms of paid acquisition. Just for reference, we're investing $3,000, $3,500 a month in ads over the past 12 months, 3,500. So that's nothing. And we're starting to do a lot more ad spend starting now. And that's what the fundraise is for, to improve the product, because if we can drive conversion a couple points up, currently conversion is at like 5% of the top line users that we get, we convert 5% to paid users. But then we can grow them with the net dollar retention from their starting MRR 120, 130% in the first couple of months. So the idea is to improve the activation, the conversion rate, but also to improve the net dollar retention. If we can do both right now without investing more in any of our channels, we have growth. So I think the key is how can we improve that activation via the product? I don't think it has a lot to do with the marketing. We can even spend the same we're spending right now, but if we improve the activation, it's going to drive it up. So if we do both, spend more, activate more, it's going to be great.
Me first? Okay. What friction, if any, are you seeing in the marketplace with organizations that are now putting up guardrails around how their employees can bring AI tools into the workplace for whatever reasons, whether it's protecting their own data or any other reasons that they have?
So our target segment are boring businesses, right? If they're going to if you're going to improve their margin, some random businessman from Arkansas is just going to do it. If he can save, if he can take more calls to do more service calls and get more customers, the ROI is just there. So our target, we don't see any friction in terms of data protection, privacy in our target segment. Our use cases are very simple. Taking a call, taking a support call, qualifying a lead. You're not taking any sensitive data, payments over the phone. Eventually, we might do it, but as of now, we don't see any friction.
Okay, I have a question. I was just checking the AI agent list, right? In the internet, there are around 450 agents there. In the last 2 weeks, maybe 40 new ones have populated the list. What's your perspective on your competition? Who is your competition, number one? And second, are you thinking about any partnerships to scale your business after your organic growth start to decrease at one point?
Yeah, so I would bet we use tens of those. We don't build any models. We don't create any of the AI platforms that we use. We just have a very powerful automation platform. So if there's a new agent, for example, there's a new model, DeepSeek, we can enable all our users to use that instead of ChatGPT within our product. If there's a new agent that does customer service for companies, we just enable that in our integration platform. So as there's more and more agents, we can bring those into our platform. We don't have to develop those. We just have to bundle them in the right way and have the best UX so that this non-technical user doesn't have to deal with anything related to code, setups, or anything that's hard. Just get value from it quickly. That's our whole thing.
Did you guys connect with Lasso, one of our portfolio Lasso, one of our portfolio companies?
Lasso, Juan Manuel?
Yes. Did you connect?
I know Juan Manuel, but I don't think we're not working to it.
Okay, good.
And partnerships for sure. We just closed a partnership with a Voice Media Group. A media company from the Southwest. They do about $1 billion in ad spend, and they're taking us to their customers. So we're exploring partners, and we don't want to do a lot of them. We want to focus on a couple, and we're starting with Phoenix.
Last question there.
Yeah, quick. So kind of connected to that one. So clearly the market is very attractive. A very attractive market invites competitors. So what in your product vision portfolio are you putting in place to create a moat around your product so nobody can just copy what you do? There's companies that have hundreds of developers that could just come in and say, well, we like that market, take you out. So how are you protecting that?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing is that we didn't start as an agent. We're not an agent platform. We started as an integration layer for companies. So when we started this company, our pitch was we enable users to build integrations without having to write code. Turns out an agent is just a bunch of integrations. You integrate your LLM with your CRM, with your whatever communications tool. So because we started as this integration layer, it's really easy for us to build integrations with the new agents, with new software platforms, with software as a service companies that are being launched every day. And that's our mode. You can go in, we can create a new template of a use case just by looking at what users are doing. And if we see something's picking up, we bundle that and we can market the use. We don't market Dapta. You're never going to see our videos talking about, oh, Dapta is the best. No, we talk about the best call answering service for plumbing businesses. And then we market the use case. And we can do that because we started as an integration platform. So I think that's our biggest differentiator. Well, anyone can do anything nowadays, right? And the cost to develop new software is really low. I think we have a lot of, so first we have a lot of insights into how SMBs work from my time building custom software for them for the past 13 years. Second, it's really hard to address that differentiation point nowadays because you can use AI to build pretty much anything at a lower cost these days. So anyone can build it. I'm not gonna lie, but anyone can just code something similar. I think our go-to-market strategy and getting a company to grow to 150,000 followers in the same space, create a go-to-market engine that's designed for that is gonna be really hard. There's not a lot of companies doing it, and the ones that are going for that segment have a very high customer acquisition cost with very heavy sales organizations. We don't have salespeople, so I think that's our biggest moat, our go-to-market strategy. There's tons of agent platforms that can compete with us in specific categories. So for example, for sales agents, there's a company called Artisan. There's 11x, company from London that just moved to the Bay Area. There is specific competitors for verticals, but we're trying to do the HubSpot approach. So when HubSpot launched, they weren't the best at email, they weren't the best at blogs, but they were the best as a platform as a whole. So the SMB didn't have to go to individual solutions. For an SMB, it's going to be a headache to deal with 17 different agents. They just want a platform that's their core technology.
Great. So thank you very much for your
Thanks.
presentation, Nicolas. Great company. Thanks for the questions.